Ready? So look at this. A student, the students in a PE class are doing a fitness test. Each student runs from a baseline in the gym to the halfway point of the hall. Okay? To the halfway point of the hall. So look, what they're doing is they're running up and down. Do you understand? So what they do is they go up. Hello, I don't want them both together. Let's try this again. Okay, so what they do is they run up, then they come back again, and then they run up again, then they come back again. Are we happy with that? So you start off at 0 time. It takes you 5 seconds, 6 seconds. What's that? 7 seconds to get. How far away are we? 30 meters. So every 7 seconds you're 30 meters away. Then how long does it take you on the way back? Another 7 seconds on the way back. And then from the graph, how long did it take Miriam to complete her first lap? 14 seconds. 7 seconds on the way up and 7 seconds on the way back. From the graph, how far from the baseline of the gym is halfway line of the gym? 30 meters. Because you go 30 meters away. And that's only the halfway mark of the gym, isn't it? Okay. For her second lap, Miriam increased her average speed to 5 meters per second. Now that's interesting. Time equals what? Oh, there we go. Distance over speed, which is 30 meters over 5 seconds. How long does it take her to do that now? Yes, Ryan? So look, if you have this, guys, if she goes faster, it means she goes up and back quicker. I did distance divided by speed, which we already know from a different chapter, yeah? And I said, look, it's going to take her 6 seconds to get back up. So instead of, we start off at 14 seconds, don't we? But it's going to be 6 seconds later. What's 6 seconds later? 20. And then another 6 seconds after that? So, see the way that one's slightly sharper? The faster you do it, the sharper the peak. The slower you do it, the broader the peak. Does that make sense? Alright. Is everybody happy with that question? We're good. Okay. Question 9 is a pattern, okay? It goes up by how much? 2. It goes up by 8 and 11. These ones go up by 3. Now, fill in the difference and sec difference. Okay, done. Pattern 2. First difference. So 2 minus 1. 3. 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. 11 minus 8 is 3. Zeros. There's no difference in the second ones. Okay. Now what is actually going on, guys? So I'm just going to copy and paste this one over. So what is actually going on with this is what we have to figure out. Okay, state which pattern is linear and which is quadratic. So pattern 1 is quadratic. Why is it quadratic? First differences aren't the same, but the second difference is. So that means it's a quadratic, and the reason why it's quadratic is first differences are different. Yeah, you do actually. Second difference. Who said the word constant? That's a good word. Is constant. Constant is the same thing as saying the same. And what about pattern 2? It's, what is it? It's linear because first difference is constant. Everybody right with that? Factorize fully. The word factorize, what does that mean? Factorize. Break it up. So what number will divide into 5 and 10? 5, and then what's inside? X plus 2. How do you check if you're right? 5 times x? 5x. 5 times 2? 10. If it doesn't multiply back out, you've done it wrong. Okay. What about the next one? What can you take out of the first two? C into R minus S. Yeah. What can you take out of the second one? And then, yeah, R minus S. Now, slow down for a minute, okay? Check. R C multiplied by R? R C. C multiplied by S? CS R SC. 2D multiplied by R? 2DR or 2R D. And then finally 2D multiplied by minus S? Minus 2SD. So look, everything's correct so far. Yes, Ryan? I'm going for one more step. I'm getting there. Okay. So, what's next then? C plus 2D there. R minus S. Now, if you wanted to check this out, yeah? If you wanted to check this out, what could you do? Just multiply it back out. You don't have to do this now. It's already done. This is the answer. What's in this box is all what you need. But what I can say is that if you have time in the exam, do you know when you have a bit of time at the end, just quickly multiply it back out. RC, and then minus SC plus 2RD, and then finally 2SD. Is it the same question? It's the same question, which means that you got it right. Yes, Aaron? Okay guys, next part. Anybody remember what x squared minus y squared is? Anybody? You have to have this learned off by heart. It's the difference of two squares, but what does that mean? Your way works as well. Both ways work. What can I do with the 16? Yeah. No, it's 4 squared. What number multiplies itself to get you 16? 4, isn't it? So it's going to be x plus 4, or the opposite way around, x minus 4, x plus 4. If I gave you a question like this, lads, if I gave you a question like x squared minus 25, can anybody tell me the answer for that one? Anybody tell me the answer for this one? It's x squared minus 5 squared, and after that? Same thing, isn't it? Yeah? I can make these questions. I can pick any letter I want, take away any number I want, provided that number is 1, 4. Anybody know the next number? No. What's 1 by 1 is? 1. 2 by 2? 4. 3 by 3? 4 by 4? 16. 5 by 5? Provided I use one of these numbers, I use a letter squared, any letter of my choosing. Are you listening? Pick a letter. O. Alright, so usually use O because O looks like 0. Pick another one. M. M squared. Pick a number from that list. We would have already done 16. Pick another one. 9. What's the answer for M squared minus 9? Minus. Yeah, which is? Plus 3 and? Do you see how easy it is to make those questions? Pick a letter and then that list keeps going. There'll be 36, there's 49, there's 81, there's 64. Do you know where I'm getting these numbers from? 7 by 7, 8 by 8, 9 by 9, 10 by 10. Okay, that's how we make those questions. You have to have the brackets at the end. That one. No, but just make sure you don't make a mistake. Now, can anybody tell me, back to the question we had, how do I check if I'm right or wrong? I have time in the test. How would I check that my answer of x plus 4, x minus 4 is correct? Multiply it out. And what was I multiply it out? X squared minus 4x plus 4x 4 by 4? Minus 16. What's 4x minus 4x plus 4x? And the answer? Is it the same thing? There you go. Now, factorize this. Yes, you gotta go. Okay, go. So, this is what's called the reference number. Okay? Can anybody tell me what is the reference number of this question? Yes? No. It's plus 6. Okay, the reference number is plus 6. Now, what you have to do is this, guys. You write down two brackets. Okay? Like this. You pick two numbers that will multiply to give you 6. But yet, when you add them, they'll give you minus 5. Now, there's one other catch. See the way the reference number is 6, yeah? It can only be two pluses or two minuses. One or the other. Ryan, you're going to pick 6 and 1, were you? I understand. 3 and 2. So what's the answer here? Or the other answer could be x minus 2, x minus 3. How would you check if you're correct? X squared minus 2x minus 3x. Just give me a second. Plus 6. What's minus 2x minus 3x? You aren't sure about it? What's minus 2 minus 3? Minus 5. So does everybody see that it turns out to be the same? Question. Sorry? Checking it. Checking the answer. Yeah, that's what you're meant to do it on the papers. Yeah, you just say this is the answer. Charlie. Okay, it's wrong because you did minus 6 plus 1, yeah? That gives you minus 7 in the middle. If you multiply that out, it won't work. So Charlie, to check Charlie's answer, okay, Charlie gave me the answer of minus 6 minus 1. Okay, you gave me that answer there, yeah? Now, shh. Stop. Okay. So what you get is this, guys. X by x, x squared. X by 1, 1x. Minus 6 by x, minus 6x. Minus 6 multiplied by plus 1, minus 6. X squared. What's 1x minus 6x? Yeah. Minus 5x. And then minus 6. It's meant to be a plus 6. So that's where you went wrong. Okay? Is that alright? So, long story short, you had to choose two minuses or two pluses. Now, I'm just going to give you another question while we're here. Okay? If I gave you this one here. That question there, yeah? Yes. You'd have to have a plus and a minus because the reference number is minus 12. Which would make it minus 3 and... Oh, sorry. Not minus 3, minus 4, excuse me. Oh, wait a second. I made a mistake there. Sorry, it doesn't work. We'll go with plus 12, sorry. Two pluses or two minuses. What will it be? Two minuses, wasn't it? So it'll be x minus 3 and... Okay. If I did it another way, if I had it as a minus 12 and I had it as a minus 4x, what about this time? Minus 12 is the reference number, which is a minus 6 and a plus 2. And the answer would be x minus 6 and x plus 2. Is that alright? Do you remember these at all? Did a lot of them in early second year, right? Now, next question is, using the answer from above, solve. What way do solve questions end? X equals and x equals. What can we change this part into? The yellow box. What can we change that into? Equals? Now, if I ask you guys, see the brackets, yeah? The brackets represent numbers, okay? That's one number, and the blue one is the second number. When you multiply two numbers by each other, and the answer is 0, what does that guarantee about one of the numbers? What's 0 multiplied by 7? What's 10 multiplied by 0? It means one of the numbers must be 0. So let's blame both numbers. Yes. It will be. You blame both numbers equal to 0, and then you move the number over the other side. You get x equals 3 and x equals 2. What does verify one of your answers mean? You gotta make sure it makes sense. And what question did we get the answers for? It's this question here, right? Would you agree with that? So it's x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. The word verify means this. Whatever your answer you choose, replace it for x. If it balances, it's correct. If it doesn't balance, not correct. So which one do you want to choose? 3 or 2? Doesn't matter. 3. 3. That turns to be 9. That turns out to be 15. That turns out to be 6. Put it into the calculator. 0. Does it balance? Yes, it is verified. Is that right? Okay. Moving on. The first 3 stages of a pattern are shown below. Each stage is made up of a certain number of shaded discs and a certain number of white discs. Shade in the appropriate disc to show the 4th stage of the pattern. It's always one short, isn't it? It's always dead center, right? But how many should I shade in? Who said that? 4. Do you see the way it's always one short? See the way the last 2 rows are always? See the way that's always white? So we do the same thing down here. That makes sense? Okay. Now that that's done, what we're going to do next is this. What is the number of shaded discs is? How many for the first one? 1 dark and 5 white. Next one? 2 and what do you say? 7. Next one after that? 9. After that? Just goes up in 2s, doesn't it? What type of pattern is that, Aaron? When it goes up by the same amount each time? Ah, there we go. Linear pattern. That's handy, isn't it? Linear pattern. Okay, because it goes up by the same amount each time. Now, in a particular stage of the pattern, there are 21 white discs. How many shaded discs are there at this stage in the pattern? So we're looking for 21 white discs. What can we do? Can we keep counting? 17, 19, 21. How many shaded discs will we have then? 9. That's handy, isn't it? So 9 shaded discs. Okay, what's the next question? Relationship between the number of shaded discs and the number of white discs in each pattern. Clearly state the meaning of each letter we use. Now this is difficult. The relationship between the numbers. 1 goes to, do you know what, Charlie? What we're noticing in every pattern, okay? You start off with 3 extra whites. Would you agree with that? So the first pattern is 1 shaded and 5 whites, yeah? The second one is you add on, every single time you add on a new pattern, what happens? You add on 1 shaded and 2 more whites. 2 more whites, yeah? So the problem is you started off with a so you add on 1 shaded and 2 whites for every one you start off with, okay? So the number of whites One white originally one white originally meant one white originally meant five. Oh, sorry, one shaded equals five whites. Is that right? Originally, sorry, one shaded equals five whites. Okay. So look, guys. What happens is every time, if you look at all the numbers, see 2 times 1. What's 2 times 1 plus 3? 5. What's 2 times 2 plus 3? 7. 2 times 3 plus 3? 9. So you can see the relationship is twice the shaded number plus 3 equals the amount of whites. Okay? So therefore the whites equals twice the shaded number plus 3. Now twice the shaded number plus 3. We would have got it from here. If you look at the if you just ignore the 3, see the 3 at the end. Just ignore the 3 at the end. Okay? That's where the plus 3 comes from. Everybody got it? And then look at the rest of it. There's 2 whites for every shaded one, isn't there? So the number of whites equals 2 times the shaded amount plus the extra 3 at the end. Is that alright? It's a tough question. Okay. Next one. Said is a set of integers. Explain what an integer is. What is an integer? Yes, Charlie. Integers are whole numbers. What do we mean by whole numbers? A whole number is minus 3, 5, or 10. It means there's no decimals, no fractions. Integers are whole numbers that can be positive or negative. Is that right? They can be below 0 or above 0. Both. Solve this inequality. Anybody remember what to do with this? We did it recently in class. Oh, that's not a 7x. Get the x on its own. So what stops the x being on its own? The 7. Move the 7 out the other side and what happens? 2x is less than 1 plus 7, which is 8. 2x is less than or equal to 8. Divide both sides by 2. Less than or equal than. Divide both sides by 2. 4. 8 divided by 2? 4, yeah. What are all the numbers that are smaller than 4? Smaller than or equal to 4? Shade them in, dot them in. Should I draw a line for this one? Like a shaded line? Why not? No fractions, no decimals. So you have to have whole numbers. Is 4 included? Smaller than or equal to 4. Equal to 4. So that'll be that one there. 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, and all the way to the left. Alright. Moving on. Ava bought an Xbox for $199.95 when she was on holidays in the United States. The exchange rate was $1.33 to €1. What can you tell me about this, guys? The dollar number will always be bigger than the euro number. It's a choice. Should the dollar, when we change dollars into euro, will it be a smaller number or a bigger number? Smaller. So you have a choice, Aaron. You can divide by the exchange rate, or you can multiply by the exchange rate. Which one will give you a smaller number? Division of the exchange rate. So what happens when you divide it by the exchange rate? So and you get 150 and 34 cent. 150.34. Is that right? An Xbox of the same model cost this much in Ireland. How much money did we save by buying it in the States? Any idea? Take them away from each other. It's a lot of money, isn't it? 0.65. 198.65. Okay.